The latest film by acclaimed Canadian director Adam Egoyan makes its North American premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival tomorrow. Remember follows Zev, a nursing home resident, played by Oscar winner Christopher Plummer, who sets out for revenge on the man who murdered his family 7 decades earlier. I had a chance to sit down with Egoyan recently in Toronto.
Do you remember what you said you would do when Ruth died? I have planned everything for you. You must follow these steps precisely. His name is Otto Wallisch. You must find him. You must kill him.
Tell me about Christopher Plummer's character, Holocaust survivor, elderly Holocaust survivor, and how you see that character.
I see it as being one of the most compelling and unique characters I've ever encountered. I think it's a commanding performance because it's completely not what you'd expect, and it is, first and foremost, it's a revenge story. So, and it's also a story that is the last time we can be talking about this chapter of our history in the present day. So, he's the last living survivor. I always saw him, whether or not he is technically, I saw him as being the embodiment of this period, and his need to extract revenge and his rage is something that I found very compelling. He hasn't come to terms with things, and the whole film is about, it's so unsettling that way in terms of how things resolve and how these two men, Martin Landau and Christopher Plummer, negotiate this history and how to come to terms with it. It's very unexpected and shocking. And I just was really excited about working with Christopher Plummer again. Like I'd worked with him.
You were together in Iraq.
Yeah, that's right. And I've seen him, in countless plays and really amazing film performances. But I really did feel that this was going to be one of the most unique roles he'd ever do. And if he was able to do it at the level that I knew he would bring, it would be unique. Unique in as much as you're seeing an actor play the moment at there's no real subtext because of his dementia. He carries all this history, but it's not something that he can access or reference immediately. So he is playing, everything is what he feels at that moment. And so there's a huge range and spectrum.
The eyes say a lot.
Totally. And I felt that if I could just put my camera in the right place and focus on that performance, be as unobtrusive as possible, which for me is kind of tricky because I like to embellish my films with all sorts of structural ideas and kind of, no, not this time. I wanted to just keep it really simple and focus on this commanding performance, make it as accessible as possible to the viewer, because I knew that what was happening within that performance was unforgettable. And I think it's, that's what I'm most proud of, is that I feel that that Christopher Plummer does deliver a career-defining performance in this.
Yeah. Tell me about the script, because you didn't write this one, Adam.
Right.
And you're used to writing what you direct.
Right.
What was it about this script where you said, absolutely, I'm signing on?
The fact that it was so unique. I'd never read a script like this. I'd never read something that focused on one character so intensely, and where that character's journey was so steeped in all the issues that I've always been fascinated by. He's someone who's been clearly is dealing with trauma, is dealing with history that it hasn't been resolved. He's carrying a tremendous amount of tension. And yet, it was completely linear. The script went from point A to point B. Basically, this person has a mission. It's a mission of revenge, and there's nothing more straightforward at one level. And yet, as the story evolves, you understand that there's a whole other system going on, and it's very compelling. And unexpected. So I just thought it was a unique story. I'd never encountered anything like this, and the writer is very young, and for him to come up with something as mature as this was really shocking. So, yeah, it is unusual that it's something that I didn't write, but on the other hand, I didn't write Chloe either as well. So like there are stories that you just get drawn to, especially when you can imagine certain actors in those roles. Like imagining Julianne Moore in Chloe, and with Amanda Seyfried, and imagining Christopher Plummer and Martin Landau, both of whom I'd worked with before. Martin Landau, I'd done a Alfred Hitchcock
How long
Presents
ago?
30 years ago.
My
I think,
gosh.
So. Yeah, was it that long ago? Maybe 25 years ago. But it was like one of the first things I ever did as a director for hire. And it was amazing working with him at the time, because the show was called Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and he had worked with Alfred Hitchcock in North by Northwest, Martin Landau. So it was just crazy that he was able to transmit to me, talk about transmission, stories of working with my most, the master filmmaker. So it was a pretty rich experience, this one, at a number of different levels.
You are teaching now at Ryerson University in Toronto, and I just wonder what it's like as you've gleaned all of these things. You've honed your craft, you continue to.
Yeah.
What's important to pass on to your students?
Well, I think first and foremost it's curiosity, like love of film, like being able to watch films, analyze them, look at all the decisions that go into a frame, like how you're composing the frame, how you're choosing the costumes that the actors are wearing that day, how you're speaking to the actors, what sort of light I mean, there's so many decisions to make, but as a filmmaker, you have to be passionate about all of those choices. So that's what, the course that I've been teaching is basically concentrated on the frame.
This is a really personal film, obviously, for you, and I would think all of your films are, but you've got a lot vested in this. What did you learn about yourself?
I learned as a director that if I believe in a role, in a character, and if I believe that I have the right actor, the perfect actor playing that I can actually really tell a story quite simply. It's a lesson I hope I can keep, because I know that in my own work I have a tendency to complicate things, but this story and this performance needed a clarity, and I learned to trust that.
Less is so much more.
It can be, yeah, especially when you, as I say, when you have an actor like Christopher Plummer, and the perfect role for him, I think.
Your voice has not changed.
Brilliant.